I love it. I love change. I just love change and just trying to educate myself by reading books, going to conferences, meeting people, asking the questions, because
And it's
I,
constant. It's a
yeah.
constant. You're saying you never stop. Welcome to Pensions and Investments, where the intersection of global business investments and law comes alive. I'm your host, Atara Twersky, and today I will be talking with Laura Basua. Laura is currently a trustee on the Fresno County Employee Retirement System, where she has served as an elected board member for many years. Laura is active in many charitable organizations because, as you will see, she is someone with a really big heart. I'm happy to call Laura not just a professional contact, but a friend. Laura, welcome to my show. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, it is so my pleasure. So, you and I go way back, right? We met at a conference.
Yes.
I say we became fast friends, wouldn't you say? Like right away.
Yes, because you just gravitated to me and I just loved it. You're so contagious, your laughter, you're just so kind and so, I could just
Yeah.
tell you're a kind heart. So thank you.
Oh, thanks for saying that. Right back at you. It's true. Okay, so tell me, I want to start because I think you have such an interesting story. And I love to tell the stories of journeys of how we got to the professions that we are in and, the personal roots that took us there, right? Because we're a compilation of both our professional lives and our personal lives. So start with me a little bit prior to you being a trustee. What did you do before?
Okay. Well, I live in Fresno, California. So I work for the County Office of Education as a homeschool liaison. I was there for about 15 years and I did state and federal programs in participated families. And then I went to the county of Fresno where I was a job specialist, which is kind of like an employment counselor where I help families to become self-sufficient, self-reliant. And I'm proud to say over 100 people got employment, their children went to school, they purchased their homes. So, you know,
Wow.
a little bit of
And
my,
I know you all this time. I didn't know you were a liaison in the homeschool department. That's
yes,
so interesting. Oh,
yes.
wow. I'm going to digress for a moment and just discuss that for a second. What are your thoughts on homeschool versus traditional brick and mortar school?
Well, actually, that's just the title to go to it's not home, it was a public school system, but it's a
Okay.
title that they give a liaison to go to the homes and, to bring children into the school system. Make sure,
Okay.
yeah, make sure they're registered, have their shots and, offer them, lunch programs and because a lot of
Okay.
sometimes migrant families especially don't know the process.
For
You know,
sure.
they think that
Wow. So
yeah.
you've kind of always been in the service of others, because even that
Yes.
sounds like something.
Yes.
Okay, fast forward a little. How did you get interested in becoming a board member on the Fresno retirement system?
So I'm also involved in labor, helping others, lifting them, and the job fields and their jobs. So I worked for the county of Fresno, and then I went to a meeting, and they were I didn't understand the process of endorsements, but I thought, well, it was all men, and I thought, well, I want to do it too, and they didn't explain to me that the endorsement process. So I ran. I was not supposed to run, and then I split the vote. So I was kind of not allowed to do anything for like 10 years. And then they came
Wow.
to me and said, you know what, I think I don't know if this is the correct, but punished enough. So I don't want somebody telling me, no, you can't do anything. I think anybody, whether you're a woman or a man or anybody, you could always bring something to the table. So I ran and I was successful. But yeah.
So originally, just so I understand, you ran and you actually were not allowed to sit on the board, even though you had
No,
won.
no, no, because over here there's like endorsements from labor groups. So there
Okay.
was endorsed candidates among themselves that they didn't explain to me that, and so I didn't
Ah,
understand the process, and that so me running, I was so close to winning, I split the vote because I got the majority of the vote, so he was not successful. So then
wow.
because of that, they felt that I needed to kind of be learning the rules or something. So they punished me for
Right.
years. So I couldn't. I didn't, you know, I knew the process. You can't run without having people backing you up. So,
For sure.
yeah.
Right. Well, I guess there's a learning curve in everything. So you didn't know right away,
Mm.
but it's so interesting that you jumped in without fully understanding the process and said, "Hey, this is something I want to go after and I want to do." So tell me, like, what was the real interest for you? Did you want to serve as a fiduciary, learn, about investments? What was like the impetus for you?
Yes, a little bit of everything because I just felt that we needed to have a member on there that people could come to and that they trust. And I knew I had the trust of the people because the regular person, the line person just sees like, oh, like this powerful person in a suit and they don't understand. But with me, I'm just like them and they could come to me at any time and I could say, yes, don't worry. A lot of times the worry is that the pension's not going to be there for when they retire and, or what do they do with their children or, questions like that. So I always have an open door policy. It doesn't matter who the position or, anything. And so I just wanted to be able to help to be there for the people, be a voice for the people.
Yeah. I think that's what makes you so special. You're very approachable.
Mhm.
Kindness radiates for real on your
Mhm.
face. And so I think that makes people feel like there's somebody watching out for their investments who they can also engage with if they have questions. And that's something that's really special. I work for a lot of pension boards and we don't come across so many people like you. We need more. So tell me also, you mentioned being a woman and you said you were the only one. Has that changed since your initial term?
Yes, because like I said, I love lifting, and I feel that women can bring a lot of diversity to a board and different ideas. So yes, there's more women now on the board, and she's another labor people. So I'm happy about that, and women of color as well. So
That's
I'm,
wonderful.
I'm yeah, so
So
proud
you're
about.
really actually giving everyone a voice and representing everybody in
Mhm.
Fresno this
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
I try, work Fresno's conservative. So, I try to, we're not like New York.
That's okay. Fresno is, an
Special.
interesting place. It's a special place. I actually drove by there. I have such a memory. It's a lot of what they call cow country, right?
Yes.
Because I remember driving, I think, from Fresno down to LA
Yeah.
and hours of farmland. For me, from New York City, I actually thought it was really peaceful and beautiful. I loved that drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. What is it like being a board member? Is it something like just walk us through? Are you meeting monthly, I assume?
Yes, we meet twice a month
Oh,
and
twice a month. Wow,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot.
Every the Wednesdays, if they're on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, so it's twice a month. The first meeting of the month is business, investments, and then on the second meeting is a little bit just tidy up meetings, but I love it. I love learning, and with investments everything changes. Nobody has a crystal ball. We don't know what the market's going to do, so things are different. And my role is to always be with integrity to make sure the plan, the plan to be safe, and so that the members, so we could keep the promise that we made to our members and our beneficiaries. So
Right, right. It's so hard because a lot of plans are underfunded.
yeah.
Um, how is Fresno doing with that these days?
We're at 87%.
Okay.
And we're looking at close, our goal is 100, but 110. But you can't stop always, having the just
No,
pay into it. So yeah.
you're working toward 87. You're getting there.
Yeah, we're at 80, strong 87. That's what our plan is funded at right now. But of course, you can't stop at 100. You have to be 110. That's our
Right.
goal, 110. Yeah. So
To cover yourselves. And how do you, because you were just a lay person, a very smart lay person, but nonetheless, somebody who, didn't go to business school, how did you begin to understand the lingo of investments when you first joined the board?
yes. Well, it's a process that you never stop learning. Every day is a new thing, and I just took it upon myself to read, get some books, attend conferences, and learn from the experts. Learn from the experts, and I have subscriptions to like Wall Street Journal and things like that just to be on top of it. But like I said, there's so much change every day. Every day is a change. COVID really took a little curve there, but it's I love it. I love change. I just love change and just trying to educate myself by reading books, going to conferences, meeting people, asking the questions, because
And it's
I
constant. It's a
yeah,
constant. You're saying you never stop.
yeah.
Also, I imagine the fund has real estate holdings and investments,
Yes, a
correct?
little bit. Yes, uh-huh.
So you have to know about that as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, we bring the specialists in to come and explain to us and because we can't go to all the sites ourselves. But yeah, they bring us and we have a consultant and we trust them, but then the board ultimately is the final one that makes the decision. Mhm.
Wow. And so are you voting on virtually every investment that is made?
Oh yes, uh-huh. I
Wow.
vote on everything. I try to always have 100% attendance because the people trusted me to be in that position and I don't
Right.
want somebody to say you didn't go to a meeting that was important and so no, yes. I think I've only missed like when I had COVID or something like that, but
Right.
because that
Wow.
was before we had the Zoom that we didn't know about and people were like, okay, we can't come into meetings and stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So Laura, tell me, like, where do you come from? Where were you born? Where'd you grow up? Was it Fresno?
No, I was born in Ventura, California.
Okay.
And so I was born there. My family was born there. And, my, I think third generation being born in California. And then my mom was from Texas and her family's
Oh,
from Texas. So, but my father was all from California. And yeah, so then my father, his parents used to, when he was young, they used to migrate and work in the fields. So he always remembered the valley and the waters and the streams and the mountains and the clean air. And he wanted to so when he got married, he saved some money and came and bought some acreage in Kerman, California. So he
oh,
moved us over here, and then that's how we got
that's
started.
the
And
end up.
mhm.
Yeah. So what do you think? I'm curious as to your thoughts on the demographics in California, especially with the unfortunate, fires that are going on. Do you think a lot of the demographic is going to change and people are going to move out of California? What are your thoughts?
People always move out, but then sometimes the grass is not as green on the other side, and
So
they end
true.
up coming back. We're still have one of the higher numbers, the highest numbers, I think, from what the governor says. So, um, I see people coming in from Florida, from Texas, from other states, I know I don't know what we don't have a crystal ball, but I think ultimately the people that love it here will stay here. So,
Right.
you know,
Right. There's
mhm.
something very special about California,
Yeah.
notwithstanding, what's, the climate situation. It's really
Yeah.
such a beautiful place. And have you noticed that the Fresno Fund has grown since you've been there, that the employees have grown and all of that?
Yes, actually when I started it was like 2 point something billion dollars and now it's right shy under $7 billion. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we have like almost 22,000 participants. So yeah, it's yeah, I'm
That's
really
huge.
proud of that. It's proud. And because investments, they're like long term. They're like at least a 30 years. So things that I did when I first started as an active and are starting to pay off the patricians. So I'm proud about that as well.
No, that's really quite amazing. I'm curious if you have a number to this because, sometimes my clients ask me, um, what is the, I would say, average pension that is employees are receiving, retirees receive from the fund annually? Is there a number you can put to that?
They all vary because, our members are management and we have line staff. So, but
Um,
usually whatever their salary is when they were working, that's usually what they get. So let's say if they're getting 6,000 a month, they're pretty close to getting that
oh,
pension,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then we have some that are getting, hundreds over
Right.
$100,000 pensions. Yeah, because they were really high managers. So
Right. So you have to be really great fiduciaries to ensure that that is maintained
yeah,
and
this
that
is
the fund stays robust and healthy.
yeah, because we pay over $30 million worth of um, benefits every month. So
Wow.
mhm.
Wow. Okay, tell me, what is your vision for like women in this industry? Like I, have been in this industry and I do think more women are coming in, but still most boards that I present to and meet with, I'm still seeing that it's, unevenly male dominated. I'm curious what your thoughts are about that.
Yes, I still see that, and I know the person that came on, I try to groom her many years before she was scared. A lot of them are scared. They see it as a something really unattainable. And I said, no, anybody can learn as long as we know how to read and write. Anybody could do it. And so I'm always trying to advocate, but it's going to be it's just it's getting there. It's going to be a little bit slower, but it's getting there. I think there's more women that are, starting to be more involved, so even in like LA, there's like I think all women board of supervisors. So that's
Right.
amazing,
I noticed that. That
that's
is, you're
amazing.
quite amazing.
Our
Yeah,
our city council has like two women or one woman. So at least they're getting in those positions that were never seen before, never. So
right.
I'm very proud of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's wonderful. You and I have talked a little bit about, women having voices. It's so important to have voices and really to teach that to young girls and children, right? I'm all, like a mother of school age children, and I always say, public speaking really needs to be like its own class in the
Yes.
classroom, not like part of English or part of history where they make kids present twice a year, but really something that they're working on. It's such an invaluable skill. I know you had mentioned that you started at Toastmasters now. I'm curious if you could share that with us.
Yes, I started taking Toastmasters because, like you say, I'm a little bit older than you. So in my when I went to school, they didn't offer anything. I think it was only speech if you had like some kind of, you know, need for it.
Right.
There was really no other like. Then they started to have argument and debate, which is good. Like when my children went to college, it was argument debate, but yeah, I really think it's lacking. And I know I need more, help. I always want to learn. So I started
Right.
taking Toastmasters. Actually it's like my third week now, but
Oh,
it's like I love it because it's impromptu where they'll just ask you some tell me about, all of a sudden they'll
tell
just
me
like,
about ice cream.
yeah, I know it's
Right.
like so
Right.
that's my goal to get better. I really, really want to work at, communication skills and better public speaking because, that matters, that matters a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think, as board members, right? It's such an invaluable skill to be able to be confident in speaking because when somebody else who's in a position of authority, maybe it's someone who's been on the board longer than you, or the executive director, or a fund manager, an attorney, you want to confidently be able to stand up and disagree if you disagree, or ask a question. I find so many times I will present at a meeting, and only afterwards, when the board meeting is over, will people come over to me and say, "Hey, I had a question." And it's usually a woman. And I
Oh,
feel bad. I always say to them, you could have asked me that.
really? Yeah.
But I think that people are still uncomfortable. And I think more women, not entirely, it's a personality also. Some people are more shy than others. But I
Mm.
think more women than men are uncomfortable, expressing their opinions. So I think that doing what you're doing is so important to help change that. Because even in small settings where there's 10 people, you need to still have a voice.
Yes, I agree. And I know sometimes a lot of members will tell me, well, how do you feel? And, don't, they're always very supportive. And I said, no, I'm an equal there. Doesn't matter how many degrees they have or, I'm an equal, I'm a voice and my vote counts too. I have an equal vote just like them. And it's true, women are more quieter, but that's why I try to do my homework before so I could read and ask questions so that, I could be well informed. And
Yes,
if I have any questions, ask them, but there's never no dumb questions. So,
I totally agree. I
Mhm.
totally agree. So tell me, what is your favorite? I know you're involved in many charities. What's your favorite?
Oh my
One
God,
that's closest to your heart?
there's so much. Education is important, to always provide it to the school systems, the children. Right now we have a lot of homeless in our communities, and it's been really cold over here. So, I've been in some outreaches where we take blankets and gloves and food
Wow,
and snacks to them. Um, because you never know when we might have a family member or you never know what might happen in life, I mean,
that's so true.
we don't ever want to be in that position, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice that you're actually hands-on. with people and actually physically giving them a blanket. There's something beautiful about interacting with people
Yes,
in that physical way where you hand them food or hand them some warmth or say a kind word face to face. So
yes.
that's
And
really
that means a lot. And they're so kind. They're just so grateful and they're so kind, So, yeah, not money. We give them things instead. So, we try not to do things. But there's so many organizations. There's women shelters that we do, Ronald McDonald Home is kind of like St. Jude, things like that.
right.
There's so many. I don't really have a favorite. I like to help anywhere where I'm needed. So.
That's great. So you're kind of semi-retired, but it doesn't sound like you're retired. It sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah, I do love being retired, but yeah, I feel as long as my brain functions, I'm going to be doing something always in the community, always to lift other people. And, there's so much to do, so much to give to people. So yes, and the community. So that's, yeah.
And what do you do for your own self, for your own mental well-being? I'm curious.
I love to read or travel,
Ah,
I love to read or travel. So, and my
and
family.
take a walk every day. I think we had discussed that, right?
Yes, I love walking, especially nature, because you never know that as we get older, might be one day when we can't. But I don't want to take for granted what we have. Our health that we have right now is like, you see movies about where one day the sky might not be blue or white clouds.
Right,
I just love nature and I love going out there every day and just seeing it. So right now we have frost outside because it was really frosty, cold.
right.
But I'll go out in a little bit, an hour or so.
Yeah, no, like I was telling you, I read, Peggy Noonan of the Wall Street Journal said, you never regret a walk. And I think of that always because I make myself walk 20 minutes every morning before I start my day. When I
Mhm.
drop my kid at school, I start my 20 minutes. And I think, yeah, it's so true. You never
It
regret
is.
a walk
I
because
I love
you
I
need
try
it for
to
your
do my
mental health as
yeah,
well as your physical, right?
I try to do my 10,000 steps, but sometimes like if it's cold, it might be 7 or 8. But I'm as long as I walk, as long as I get
Right.
up, like you say, and I don't do like 15 in the morning, but I just try to do it all day long, doing
All
things
day
that I
long.
can do like walk or park, I'll just try to do that distance, so
Right. Yeah.
makes me feel good. I feel very accomplished.
Right. It's good for your mental health. So what's in store for Laura? Are you going to work to be an elected member for the next term on the board? What's your plan?
Yes, the members have asked me, and I always want to, if the members are supportive of me and will continue to help me, then of course I'm gonna. Yes, so my term ends this year, so I'll be running again for another term of 3 years, and then after that, I think I could pass the baton, or try to get somebody else a succession plan for me. But
Right. You'll see. You'll see. And tell me just quickly about your campaign. Are you doing it on social media? Do you like go to door? What are you doing?
So yeah, we do everything. First I have to get an endorsement because with an
Okay. We
endorsement,
know
yeah,
that.
we have to get an yes, I know learned that lesson. Get an endorsement from the people and the members, and with that comes money. And so with that money comes, the campaigning, the social media, the flyers, the phone banking, precinct walks, whatever we need to do. So yeah, so that's very important because and so that then the man that manager that comes with it, they're in charge of all the social media. The campaign
That's
manager, they're the
great.
ones that
That's
do,
great.
hey, you're gonna go here today. We're gonna put you on Facebook. We're gonna do, um, you know, so I
That's
don't
great.
do
Oh,
it
so
myself
they
personally. I
actually,
have somebody else do
once
it
you
for me.
get, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear
No,
you.
no, I'm sorry. No, no, no. I was and no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to ask. So once you get the endorsement, they provide you with a campaign manager.
Yes.
Isn't that great? You don't, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Somebody,
Because
somebody who like really understands like the
right.
aspect of how.
That's what they do. They do campaigns. I'm part of from other jobs. Usually it's one of the staff members from one of the local unions, but that's what their job is day in and day out all year round. So they do my campaign and maybe other campaigns as well at the same time. But yeah, so they do the research, what the demographics is, so they break it all down for me. So I think campaign manager is very, very important. So
Yes, absolutely. I interviewed Rick Fromberg. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was the campaign manager for one of the New York City mayors,
oh wow.
which you should listen to that, watch that
I
episode.
will.
Really interesting.
Okay.
Just like what goes on in the back end of a campaign, which you probably know quite a
Right.
bit more than you even realize. Being at the front end, you still kind of see the back end.
Yeah.
But what number term will this be for you, Laura?
So this would be my fifth term. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're rooting for you because we need
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I
We
appreciate it.
need
Yes.
more women like you all over
Thank
the
you. Thank
country
you.
and on different boards. So I thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. You're really such a lovely human. It's always great to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity, Atara. I really appreciate you asking me. And anytime you need anything, just feel free to ask me. Thank you
Oh,
again. Have a great day.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.